Hello everyone. Ekadhik recaps here, and today I'm going to discuss a thrilling movie called Revenge. The story revolves around Jay Cochran, a seasoned U.S. Air Force pilot who decides to retire after 12 years of service and seek a new adventure. He receives a hunting gun as a gift and an invitation from his wealthy friend Tiburon Mendez to stay in Mexico. Tiburon, a notorious crime boss, hopes to entice Jay into becoming his personal pilot. However, Jay firmly declines any job offers and simply desires a peaceful break. Accompanied by his faithful dog, he arrives in Puerto Vallarta, Mexico, in search of Tiburon's residence. Along the way, he encounters a stunning woman and learns that she is Tiburon's wife. Although Jay was assigned a room, he yearns to live by the sea and decides to rent a bungalow on the coast. Tiburon's assistant informs him that Mr. Mendez values punctuality, as Jay was expected 2 days ago. Jay clarifies that he is a guest and not an employee. Upon their reunion, Tiburon is ecstatic to see his friend and suggests they play tennis together. Tiburon understands that he may not defeat Jay in the game, but he lives by the principle of never giving up without a fight. Jay presents Tiburon with a leather summer jacket as a gift, which Tiburon appreciates and wishes to show his wife. However, while Tiburon's wife is on the phone, their dog unexpectedly jumps on the jacket, provoking Tiburon's anger. He swiftly grabs the dog by the scruff of its neck and hurls it into the pool. Jay attempts to calm Tiburon down, reminding him that it's just a jacket. Tiburon responds with a remark about the importance of discipline, implying that without it, one would be no better than an animal. Despite the incident, they agree to go hunting together the next day. Tiburon is filled with excitement, seeing Jay as a refreshing source of companionship. Tiburon is curious why his wife, Miryea, didn't join them for dinner. He considers it impolite and expects an explanation. Miryea explains that she thought it was a business meeting and didn't realize it was a social dinner. She becomes emotional and asks for forgiveness, tears welling up in her eyes. In truth, Miryea desires to have a child but believes her body is not capable of bearing children. The following day, Jay Cochran arrives late for their hunting expedition and jokingly mentions that Caesar, their guide, provided a map that is difficult to decipher. While seated in the car, Miryea gazes at Jay. Tiburon receives an urgent phone call, prompting Miryea to step out of the car and greet her husband and Jay. Tiburon embraces his wife and introduces her to his friend. As Tiburon engages in the phone conversation, the others share laughter, amused by the uncontrollable dogs in Tiburon's entourage. Tiburon mentions that each dog is worth $20,000. Both Tiburon and Miryea insist that Jay join them for dinner, along with Tiburon's associates. Jay, however, is not fond of them, and tension fills the air. Sensing this, Tiburon takes his associates to another room, leaving Jay alone with Miryea. Jay contemplates leaving, but Miryea expresses her husband's desire for him to stay. She invites the ladies to swim in the pool, recognizing the lack of connection between them and Jay. She hands him one of her favorite books, and Jay reads poetry by Lorca, impressing her with his knowledge of Spanish. Curious about how Miryea and Tiburon met, Jay inquires, and Miryea explains that Tiburon saved her father from bankruptcy, leading to their marriage. She adds, with a hint of sadness, that such arranged marriages are common in their culture. They share a laugh, and Miryea admits her previous infatuation with Tiburon, just like her sisters. After listening to her story, Jay bids them farewell and returns home. Tiburon, after his conversation with Bara, asserts his authority by eliminating Bara and recruiting his associates to work for him. He deceives Miryea, insisting that nothing happened and making her suspicious of her husband's actions. The next morning, Jay returns home with groceries and finds Miryea waiting for him. She brings him a book and suggests they take a walk on the beach with his dog, Rocky. During their conversation, Miryea shows interest in Jay's personal life and learns that he was previously married but is not interested in rekindling any relationships. As they bond over shared interests, Jay notices a change in Miryea's demeanor. She tries to explain that she needs to be distant among Tiburon's associates, comparing herself to a frozen fish. Jay understands her meaning and they have fun together, playing with Rocky. As the evening progresses, Miryea confesses her feelings for Jay, and he reciprocates. They share a deep connection and love for each other. Jay invites Miryea to his home for a drink, and as he prepares lemonade, his excitement causes everything to fall from his hands. Miryea comes closer to help, and in that moment, they both realize the depth of their love for each other. The night continues with a celebration of their newfound passion. Jay and Miryea engage in a secret affair, finding solace in each other's arms in the dressing room while her husband entertains the guests. The next day, Jay finds himself playing tennis with Tybee's friends, but he despises their dishonesty and feels like an outsider in their world. Unbeknownst to Jay, Caesar has been monitoring his activities since the previous day, and Tybee inquires if he finds his wife beautiful. Jay pretends nothing happened and responds that she is indeed beautiful. Tybee declares that he would do anything to keep his amazing wife. Meanwhile, Miryea, fearless and undeterred, waits for Jay in his car. Jay reminds her not to forget their true identities and calls his friend, Motor, confessing that he fell in love with Tybee's wife from the very first day. Motor urges him to leave immediately, warning him of the potential danger. Miryea reluctantly accepts the reality that her husband spends time with other women, but Tybee is the only man she has ever known. Jay informs her of his plan to leave Mexico, worried that Tybee may discover their relationship. However, Miryea suggests that they spend a few more days together. Jay, consumed by love, agrees to her proposal. Miryea informs Tybee that she will be visiting her sister in Miami, but Tybee eavesdrops on her phone conversation, overhearing her request for cover. Tybee confronts Jay and discovers that he plans to go to his own home instead. In an attempt to keep Jay close, Tybee offers him a position as a captain and proposes they fly together to Caracas on his plane. Jay offends Tybee by refusing the offer. In return, Tybee hands him a ticket to Italy, along with a firearm, as promised, and bids him farewell. Tybee accompanies Miryea to the airport, kissing her for the last time. Jay awaits her arrival at the airport, and they embark on a journey to a bungalow, once again surrendering to their passion along the way. They savor every precious moment spent together, unsure of what lies ahead. Jay musters the courage to declare that Miryea will stay with him. However, their blissful moment is abruptly shattered when Tybee and his henchmen burst in, immediately removing the dog from their path. Jay is subjected to punishment in front of Miryea's eyes, and Tybee inflicts a deep scar on her face. Miryea manages to grab Jay's token as they set the bungalow ablaze. Left to die in the desert, Jay is abandoned by Tybee, while Miryea is taken to a brothel, where her life transforms into a nightmare. The unconscious Jay is discovered by Farmer Mora, who takes him to his home to recover. After a week, Jay returns to the burned-out bungalow to retrieve his hidden money. Miryea urges him to leave quickly to ensure his safety, informing him that Tybee is now in Durango. Jay expresses his gratitude to Mora and offers them money. However, since Mora is reluctant to leave, he takes Jay to the city and presents him with a gift for self-defense. On the way, Jay assists a Texan in transporting a horse. The Texan, realizing Jay is headed to Durango, invites him to travel together by car. At a diner, Jay spots one of Tybee's thugs and seeks revenge using Amora's gift. After a day on the road, the dying Texan hands over the horse to Jay and reveals Tybee's whereabouts in Durango before passing away. Jay buries him and continues his journey. Not only is Jay pursued by Tybee's men, but Mora's brother-in-law Omander visits his room and reveals that Miryea is alive. Omander wants to help Jay as his sister was killed due to her involvement with Tybee's business. In a bar, a rock singer persistently pursues Jay, but he declines her advances, choosing to spend time playing cards instead. Omander introduces his cousin Ignacio, who joins their team. Omander learns that Miryea is in a brothel but doesn't know its exact location. Jay recalls one of Tybee's henchmen who might have information about Miryea's whereabouts. They capture him and extract the information, discovering that Miryea has been moved. Jay breaks into the brothel, only to learn that she has been relocated. The brothel owner reveals that Miryea was highly sought after among the customers. Overwhelmed with anger, Jay punishes her, but learns that no one except Tybee knows Miryea's current location. In a planned ambush during their morning walk, Jay wears the summer jacket he once gave Tybee. Tybee anticipates Jay's arrival, expecting him to ask for forgiveness for taking his wife. However, Jay decides not to kill Tybee and instead asks for forgiveness. Tybee reveals that Miryea is in a convent, barely holding back his tears. Miryea is in the monastery hospice, gravely ill. When Jay sees her, he covers her scarred face with his hands and tears fill her eyes. Removing his hand, he kisses her lips and manages to express his love for her. He carries her outside, and Miryea confesses her love before peacefully passing away in his arms. And with that, the movie concludes. Thank you for watching.